This week we are going to be recapping adding and subtracting word problems. When following the steps of word problems, you need to make sure you use rucksack. The first letter of rucksack is R. This stands for reading the word problem more than once. Once you have read the problem, you then move on to the U, which stands for understanding it, and then underlining any key parts of the problem that you think are important. Once you have underlined, you then need to decide which calculation you need to do. Do you need to add or do you need to subtract? When you know which calculation you are doing, you can then solve the problem using the column method. When you have created the column, you then need to find the answer to your word problem. When you have found the answer, you need to always make sure that you check it. You could check this by either talking to a learning partner or using the inverse. Let's follow these steps for this word problem. Firstly, let's read it together. In Galaxy class, there are 8,673 brown hairs on children's heads and 6,532 blonde hairs on children's heads. How many more brown hairs are there than blonde? When you have read the problem, you then need to underline any parts that you think are important. I have chosen to underline the two numbers and how many more. This phrase gives me a clue about what I need to do with my word problem. Using the how many more phrase, I can decide if I want to add or subtract. Because I am comparing these numbers and finding out how many more one number is than the other, I'm going to subtract. To solve the problem, I am going to use the column method. So I have laid out my bigger number at the top, my smaller number underneath, with my subtraction sign on the side. Using my column method, I can then find the answer. Starting with the smallest column, I will take away the numbers, and my answer is 2,141. And finally, to check my answer, I have chosen to use the inverse. This is a really smart way to check your answers.